I'm excited for the parade. I think it's a amazing opportunity for the American public to meet its Army. We have a rich story. We have a rich tradition of history and culture in the Army, where 250 years, your U.S. Army soldiers have been on the battlefield since the Revolutionary War, World War I, World War II, Global War on Terror. So this is a great chance to meet soldiers, talk to soldiers, and what the jobs that they do.
Okay, so what's the importance of these vehicles being showcased?
Yep. So these vehicles, so for me, 3 Armor Corps, the Abrams main battle tank, the Bradley fighting vehicle, the Paladin, and the Stryker. The 3rd Armor Corps, Fort Cavazos, is on 5 installations. We have 90,000 soldiers. We are 48% of the Army's combat power. So if you need the U.S. Army to go somewhere and kick butt and to destroy their tanks, you want the 3rd Armor Corps, Fort Cavazos. Because that 48% combat power of tanks, Bradleys, Paladins, long-range artillery, that has a big punch. That makes us lethal. But the soldiers with this equipment, that's true lethality. That's what makes us amazing warfighters.
Where are you going to go? People are worried about the roads. What's the deal with that? Is there protection for ripping up the roads in D.C.?
Yep, so we've taken several steps to mitigate impacts to the roads. And it started way back several months ago in Fort Cavazos. Number one, we switched out old track pads. So these track pads, about 2.5 inches thick of hard rubber, they minimize the impact, they minimize and absorb the impact for the vehicle, the crew, but on the road as well. The second thing we're going to be doing, we're going to be driving at about 3 miles per hour. So driving at 3 miles per hour slows the impact of the vehicle down. So that's also going to help. And the other one is how they're going to be driven. So column of 2 staggered. So 2 and 2, so 4 tanks, then 4 Bradleys, then the Paladin, then the 4 cargo trucks pulling artillery pieces. You're not going to see 28 tanks all at the same time grouped together. So that's staggering, the 3 miles per hour, the track pads, and of course we can't forget about the 1-inch thick steel plates that were put on certain areas where the vehicle's going to be turning. All those are going to help mitigate. And as you can see, I'm like, this tank just came off a rail car, and the only thing you see here is maybe some of the black rubber from the track pad being rubbed off. That's about it. So even here at Jessup, Maryland, there has been no impact to the streets.
The United States Secret Service is extremely proud to lead the development of the security for the celebration of one of the greatest fighting forces the world has ever known. We've coordinated closely with many of the public sector professionals in this room and countless others across the NCR. Our teams work and train frequently and communicate daily to execute high-level security. This shared experience is our foundation, and it is our strength. Looking to the upcoming festival and parade, we're preparing for an enormous turnout. Hundreds of thousands of attendees. It is our duty to ensure the safety and security of every participant. We are deploying thousands of agents, officers, and specialists from across the country, backed by the robust network of federal, state, and local partners. Our mission is not just to secure an event, but to ensure public confidence and safety. The Secret Service and our partners want every attendee to be confident in their security and feel safe. That is why we are leaving no stone unturned. Everyone in that this is an NSSE, we plan for those things ahead of time. So since April 22nd, we've been planning for this, which is shorter than normal, but we are paying attention, obviously, to what is happening there, and we'll be ready for that if it were to occur here for the Army 250. Next. From a Secret Service perspective, it's simply people using their First Amendment right to protest. We're not going to do anything with that. But if that turns violent or if any laws are broken, that's when MPD, Park Police, Secret Service will get involved, and that will be handled swiftly.
Is there a designated area for that?
You want to yeah.
So the National Park Service handles the permitting process, right? So we have several permits currently pending. From what we reviewed thus far in our communications list, we don't have any significant concerns. We don't have a designated area. According to the permit, they'll request where they want to be, and the National Park Service will make a decision based on the NSSE and the security perimeter. But First Amendment activity, significant experience with all the events in the mall, right? So I think certainly the Park Police and MPD is well prepared.
President, you've
Please.
got a big, beautiful parade coming up on Saturday.
We do.
What's your biggest expectations for that? Then I've got a second question in
Okay.
regards to Gavin Newsom. But go ahead and talk about the big, beautiful parade.
It's such a, thank you, Brian. It's such a, I think, important moment for this country. You know, 2 weeks ago I was calling people and back and forth with leaders, including President Putin, including French president, including lots of different people. And all of them said, we're celebrating victory in World War II. And I said, wow, isn't that amazing? We're the only one that wasn't celebrating, and we're the one that won the war. Now, Russia did help. They did lose 51 million people, in all fairness. People would say, oh, he's sticking up for Russia. No, they lost 51 million people. And, you know, can't forget that. But France was celebrating. And as you know, Hitler made a speech at the Eiffel Tower. But when I spoke to President Macron, he said, oh, we are celebrating the great victory of World War II. And I think that's great that he was doing it. But we're the one that won it, and we weren't celebrating. I said to myself, you know, isn't that crazy? And I think it's time for us to celebrate a little bit. You know, we've had a lot of victories. We won 2 world wars, and then we go out and change the name of the forts where we won the wars. You go out, we win world wars from Fort Robert E. Lee, from Fort Bragg, from all the different forts. And what do? We change the name of the forts because we want to be politically correct. So a lot of them were changing back. You probably noticed Fort Bragg and others. But I think it's a time to celebrate our military. You know, we've rebuilt our military largely. Little low on ammunition. That's because it goes out very fast to other countries, one in particular. But we'll get that back very quickly. But we have a military the likes of which nobody has. Nobody comes close. We have the best equipment in the world. We make the best equipment in the world. There's no military like our military. We showed that with ISIS. I was told by the television generals it would take 4 years to win, and we did it in 3 weeks. And it was headed by General Raisin Kane, who's now the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He's great. Just left him. No, I think it's time that we celebrate. And I sort of have to laugh at these people. Well, you know, you're going to spend a lot of money. A lot of that money is being paid for by me and people that make donations. I don't know if you know that. A lot of it won't even come out of the military. I think I can say that, Susie, right? We have people putting up money to do it. Not that it's necessary, because I think it's a great expenditure. We have many tanks. We have all sorts of new ones and very old ones, old from World War I and World War II. It's really a celebration of the Army. So the Army is a year older than the country. So next year we celebrate 250 years, but we're celebrating the Army on Flag Day. And it's not my birthday. It is my birthday, but I'm not celebrating my birthday. I'm celebrating Flag Day. It happens to be the same day, so I take a little heat. But Flag Day is the appropriate date. And we're celebrating 250 years of the Army, a great service. And remember, you know, think of it. We won so much. We won World War I, World War II, so much else. And then we became politically correct. But I can only tell you that I was told that ISIS would take anywhere from 4 to 5 years, and we did it in 3 weeks. You were there, you watched, right? We have the greatest military in the world. Nobody can beat us. As long as we have our right leadership, nobody can beat us. If we have stupid people running it, like you had in Afghanistan, when you look at that, first of all, Afghanistan should have been an easy victory as a war, but we were so sad the way we fought it, so ridiculous. We fight not to win, but we didn't used to be that way. And we're celebrating, because I think the day in Afghanistan was the saddest period of time in the history of our country. That was a Biden mess with bad generals like Milley and others. They were bad. They were incompetent generals. I know all the good ones and the bad ones. We got rid of most of the bad ones. But it was time to celebrate, and that's what we're doing. So it's on June 14th, and it's going to be a parade the likes of which I don't know if we've ever had a parade like that. It's going to be incredible. We have even though it's the Army, we have a lot of those Army airplanes flying over the top, and we have tanks all over the place, and we have thousands and thousands of soldiers going to bravely march down the streets. It's going to be a beautiful day, I think, and we're going to celebrate our country.